Hello, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's continue where we left off. It's now the 15th of April at Baker Street. See? That's why I ain't grown-ups. All they do is feed you pack of lies and take stuff away from ya. Oh, really, Mr. Strahd? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What? Oh my, surely you were given that. Yeah, the D let me keep it after I looked daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, "Go on then, have it," before telling me to scrap her. Always pays off giving people a look like you hate them. I can't help feeling that it's going to get you some serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that nice, shiny disc, mind. A music box disc. But Mr. Windibank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash, give him a long hard stare. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windibank's again today. Why not? That's not fair. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windibanks. But that disc's mine. I had the ticket for this coat and it was in the coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what the Rotten Cove said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well then, that's mine too, whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Mr. Strahd, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes. So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Eh? Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. Oh, that's nice to invite her. Notte. Oh. Why would I come round your place, eh? Have you lost your heads or something? Oh, she stormed off. Oh dear, she's gone. Having it veiled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you. Oh, how exciting! What is it? You shall have to wait and see, Mr. Sato. Until later, then. Okay, well... Did I just... Oh, oops, I didn't mean to examine that again. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna head over to Mr. Sholmes' place. Really see what else we could be doing. It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. Ah, that's where we are. Oh, that's nice. We have a little like patio. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this. Oh, I know. Actually be sharing accommodations with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I'll have not one regret. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll be happy to defend you, of course. Was that foreshadowing about something? That seemed a bit weird. Anything else we can examine before I head off? Let's see, where can we move to? Baker Street, can't go into there. They're doing investigations. I guess we'll just head back to Sholmes' suite. "15th of April, 3:46 p.m. Sholmes' suites." Ah, Susie and Bruno, come in, come in. Good afternoon, Iris. Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already. Busy as always? I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening. Already? You're obviously cooking something special. Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on. You'll never guess. Look at those little eyes of her shining. Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny. Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise. Yes, what a wonderful news. Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at that idea. I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional. Ah, yes, that does sound like fun. I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you, Mr. Naruto? By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to? Oh, he's on his desk again. Apparently, oh, he's been like that ever since he got back. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I am not here. I don't know how to respond to that. I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything. Yes, I see. Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes, Hurley does. Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they? Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are. What's the matter, Runo? You have ever such a funny look on your face. Oh no, it's nothing. I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes? You're wondering, am I right? How did you know? Oh, Runo, I can read you like a book. This girl's a danger. I think everyone can read him. His mind, his eyes. Don't worry, you can ask me anything. I won't mind. Okay, I guess we're going to learn more about Iris now. Let's talk about Ginny, though. So, by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McGilded case 2 months ago, right? Yes. Who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now, we're the best of friends. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yes. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Oh. And I chase after her down the back alleys. Interesting idea of friendship. And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh, she actually does keep it then. There are so many beautiful colors in the world. Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow. I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you? Yes, that's right. I got bored of it anyways. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot it at him with it now. Poor Hurley. Oh, can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited. I just hope she does actually come. I'm sure you've been wondering why is it that I live here with Hurley, haven't you? Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents? Oh. My mummy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Mummy passed away when I was born, and at around the same time my father, well, he had to go over to a faraway place because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on. Oh, wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley? Yes, yes! Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysteries cases together. He didn't mention that before. He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there. Really? He recorded them all? So, you mean it's true? Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases. Oh, yes. I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it? So Mr. Shom's partner was your father? Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest, but that only made me want to look even more. So I opened it up and found your father's memoirs. Yes. So I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. And then he told me that when I found out that the author of all these accounts was my father. So Iris's father was Mr. Shom's partner. I practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock when Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean. It must have done. I wonder why Mr. Soames chose to tell you at such a young age. Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes. Right. Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, actually. I've always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets every time as soon as he solves a case. It all but vanishes from his mind. Oh, I see. The other day, it was so embarrassing as usual. He totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. Wow, it was quite a shock for everyone. You can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. I learnt from his diaries that he is a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study so I could earn a doctorate as well. Iris's father, who went to some distant land, and is just a doctor by name of John H. Wilson? The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruto. Oh, was it him? I don't remember what our first case's name was. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. No, you kidding me? You kidding me? That long ago? That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who was in the most bizarre of circumstances lost his life just before we left Japan. And you gotta love it when it all comes back around. Mr. Sato? Yes. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. I think that would be for the best. Ah, my dear fellows, good to see you. Eek, Mr. Sholmes? Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Ah, well, no matter now. So, how the devils are you? We've been with you for most of the day? Goodness, really? Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed? Hmm? My violin? Whatever you talk about, my dear madam. Oh, Mr. Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows. What did you get that other one then? Oh, another music box disc. No, not another disc, Mr. Sato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence, Mr. McGilded's disc. Oh my, then, what's it doing here? You know, at times, Mr. Naruto, I think though I have an undeniable turn for deduction. I may well be even more adept at larceny. Oh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'll be your pickpocketing assistant, and Runo could be your go-to lawyer if we ever get caught. Right. Plus, Susie has such a beautiful handwriting. She could write all our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted. I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Well, slowly becoming a household of criminals, I see. Oops, we're not trying to move anywhere. I want to talk to him. I don't understand. How did that disc come in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to the Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I've always carried some of this. That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes. Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking that, whatever it is, from Mr. McGilda down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over. Yes, of course. If the police demand something of his evidence, my dear fellows, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was precisely that moment that I summoned one of my only friends into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars like this. That's amazing. Oh, he made a copy of the disc. Oh. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel. Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The results of a precisely controlled solution. How extraordinary. Carrying on, a pair of these on one's persons frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will and never without high sucrose nourishment. Yes, it sounds illegal. From the image, I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played. Yeah, tell us what's on it. I really want to know what's on it. Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play? Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. No idea? None whatsoever. Oh, we don't have a music box, do we? Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not. Goodness, you don't know, Runo? Wow, this is like, should I know? Oh, you mean this thing. Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberance pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music box to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protrudence on it. But over time, a new type of player was produced which used discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide all around the globe. Why exactly? Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchangeable to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result. It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present. But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an unsurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one's firm music box does not match that of another, and we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. Ah, I see. So that's why. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. Yeah, sounds very off. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe. Every single one? That's early for you, always taking things too far. But my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes. That is exactly true. That's certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room. What? Excuse me? Alright, we'll just talk about Magnus McGilden now. Man, I'm still waiting for stuff to happen though. We're still in just the very beginning part of this chapter. Magnus McGilden. Not a name I expected to hear so soon. Yes, it has only been 2 months since the grisly case. Oh, flashback. Mr. McGilden perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows. Still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And within the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilden's innocence in the trial, the newspaper are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case. Oh, that poor guy. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGilden was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. It would appear the case is not yet solved, or not yet closed. Well, it's time I get started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long. Thank you, Iris. Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do. I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? This will be a lesson to you, Mr. Holmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes, you may be right. Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windibeck said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in the pawn, didn't he? Didn't he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of the otherworldly mysteries lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe. So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windibeck's storeroom gathering dust. My dear madam, I am quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank's vault. And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure? Well, there may be the occasional mix-up, caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now. Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley? Oh, it sounds exciting. The Hound of Baskervilles. I should love to read it. How does she know the title? Huh. What's going on here? Why does it feel like the icy chill just swept through the room? Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well, that's because Mr. Sato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course. But Ryuno, the Hound of Baskervilles has never been published. What? When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet. I don't understand. That's why he said that he'd keep it safe until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see? So that's why the manuscript is at Windibanks. And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on? Ah! What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. Oh, she just quietly came in. Mr. Strad? This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going. No, wait, Mr. Lestrade. We've all been eagerly waiting for your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Oh, yes, just wait there, Guinea. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Mr. Strad. Please make yourself at home. Don't stand there in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What you say to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer. Mendelssohn? Mendelssohn it is, then. Oh, kitty! Just casually strolls on in. That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. Oh, the 15th of April, 9:34 p.m. Naruto's legal consultancy. Ah, it's nighttime. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it? Oh yes, Iris's cooking was truly divine. Oh, I'm gonna have to stop here. I got so engrossed in the story, I completely lost track of time. So, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye.